I hate this chainsaw. Welcome to Retired for Life. I'm your host, Brian. I retired a few years ago after 30 years in a factory job as a machinist in a millwright. I needed to rediscover what life could really be like. When we purchased this property, the house had stood empty for over a year, and the property had been badly ravaged by poor logging practices. Since my retirement, I've been working to renovate the home and restore the surrounding forest to its natural beauty and attract wildlife back to the property. Join me as I learn about nature and working with wood to create the backdrop for this new chapter of our lives. I'll put some fresh gas in it and see what happens. If this thing still doesn't run properly, it's going. All right, let's see what we can do. This thing ran fine for about its first year, and then it's been a real nightmare ever since. Well, it started, that's something. So as soon as you put this thing under load, it just gives up. Now, I did find some instructions on YouTube as to how to adjust the carburetor, and I did have it running reasonably well for a little while, and then it gave up. Well, we'll try that one more time, and we'll see what happens. Let's get back in the shop where it's a little warmer. All right, folks, I've been playing around with this thing long enough. I checked the spark plug. It was fine. Cleaned it. Made no difference. Put a new spark plug in. That made no difference. Checked the air filter. It was a little bit dirty, so I took it out and cleaned it. That made no difference. Now, a little really annoying stunt that is done to these things is, as you heard, it's bogging out on high RPM. So I thought, all right, maybe I can adjust that. And there is an adjustment for it, but it's down way inside these two little holes here. And when the cover is on, like so, there's what you've got to try to get through. And the really sneaky little thing here with this, it's not like an Allen head screw or a standard screwdriver or anything like that. These two little adjusting knobs that are set way down in there have got like a little knurl or that kind of thing on it. So unless you've got the right tool, you can't adjust those. You can't get near them to adjust them. Now that's just ridiculous. But I'm not one to give up that easily. So I took this dowel and I drilled the end of it just with the point of the drill and settled that down into it. And then, with the cover off, I can take this dowel and get it to go down in there. And by pushing fairly firmly on the dowel, it will grab those knurls and I can actually adjust those two screws. So I did fool with that for a while. And again, no difference. I couldn't get it to come up to full speed or full power. It was just bogging right down. So I could take the carburetor apart on it. But when I look at this, this was pretty much my first chainsaw when I came here. It's just a little 16-inch saw, and I didn't want to spend too much money on it because I wasn't doing anything like logging or anything like that. So it's still got the same chain. It's still got the same blade. Now, the blade's in pretty rough shape, and there's basically nothing left to sharpen the chain. So what do you do with something like that? Putting any more money into it, to me, is just a waste of time. So I'm done. Let's go get a replacement. So I just about drove by here and I thought, oh, I remember there's a Stihl dealer in here. So we've come in to have a look at this. And they have got just exactly what I'm looking for. So I think we're into a new saw. The pooling goes in the scrap. Oh yeah, we're all set. The pooling's going away and this one's going into business today. All right, folks, enough fooling around. Let's get serious. There we are. So I did the drive into town today. That's Perth. I was going to drive right by these guys because I figured, no, Stihl is just too expensive of a saw for me. I am going to go to Canadian Tire, and I saw that they had a 16-inch Husqvarna, but kind of a bigger motor on it. Not what I would have thought was ideal because of its weight. And then at the last second, after driving by Rental Village in Perth, I stopped and decided they're right there. Let's turn around and go have a look. So I went in and chatted with them, and I was really surprised at the price of the saw. This is a slightly smaller saw than the Husqvarna, but it was hugely cheaper, and the folks in there were very helpful. They know their stuff. They answered any and all of my questions. So I walked away with this saw and a number of other things. So it's just too cold down there now for the battery saw. It's done an amazing job, but the batteries get cold very quickly, and then the saw quits, and then you're out of luck. And the Pooland, well, you're out of luck with it anyway. Anyway, it was a saw that I did a lot of learning with, and for the first year, it ran quite well. I can't really complain about that, but now I need something that is going to run better, more dependable, and that's this. So thank you, Rental Village in Perth. You guys were great. And you got a regular customer. All right, let's get this thing out to the bush and see what it does. So there's the first ridge cleaned up, except for what's left of that. I think we're going to get rid of that. I was going to leave it, but I've changed my mind. I just don't like the looks of it. So this ridge is now in nice shape, except for that. So these two trees, these two downed trees, are going to be what we test the chainsaw on. All right, let's get set up and we'll go at it. Yeah, this one is hung up in a rather precarious spot. I'll give you a closer look at that. I do gripe about dealing with these cedars a fair bit, but look at the branches in these things. They just tangle up, and you can see over here how this one is tangled up. And then we got this one right here, also tangled up. Look at all the branches on that. Let's see if we can figure out what to do with this. I'm going to see if I can just push it over. Gotta watch that it doesn't come down on top of me. Not that it's terribly heavy or anything like that. What do you think? Are you going to come down, you stinker? You know, that's kind of convenient right there. Actually, I'm going to leave that there. Well, it's not bad noise-wise. All right, that's got that down. Let's take care of this other piece of junk up here while we got the chainsaw running. All right. So that's my first Stihl chainsaw. And I gotta say, I am very pleased with it. It did a great job. Cut through this stuff very quickly. Of course, it's all pretty old stuff. Let's get all this junk cleaned up. Wow, look at this, guys. This is so much better. It's unbelievable. So this ridgeline is pretty much cleaned up over as far as the power lines. We've got a little bit farther that way. But let's have a look at what we're into next time. There's quite an opening there. Look at this. Look at the storm damage back in here. Oh my goodness. This is unbelievable. This is our next ridge line. Yeah, it's really thick down here. And wow, is there ever a lot of stuff over. Jeez, that's incredible. So this will be our next spot to clean up right through this ridge line. And with our lovely new Stihl chainsaw that seems to really work a treat, that's going to make it a lot easier. And if we don't get the snow, yeah, we can keep right on going. All right, let's go gather our tools. Very pleased with how our test went. And I'll see you back at the shop. Yeah, this is amazing. From nothing to what you see now. Oh, we've got so much to process through that wood chipper. It's really looking 1,000% better. I love it. Well, there we are, folks. We're back at the shop. I brought the two little battery saws back with me. The Stihl GTA 26 and, of course, the DeWalt 20 volt max. Now, they have done what they needed to do, and both of them perform their job very well. But as I said earlier, it's just too cold for batteries now. But the new Stihl, which I left down there in a case, just, yeah, 16 inches. It's pretty much their smallest motor for a 16 inch. And so it's nice and light, but it's perfect for what we're doing. I mean, it was very easy to handle, and as you saw, it did the job really well. So that's a big plus. Now, as for the old Poulin, you know what I'm like with letting things go. I just can't do it very easily. So at some point in time, I'm going to take the carburetor off of it, try to clean it, and we'll fool around with it again. I'm not sure what I'll do with it if I can get it running, but we'll see what happens. So thanks very much for watching, folks. I appreciate you sticking around. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. And if you've got any thoughts, questions, comments, anything like that, make sure to leave me a comment in the comment section. I always respond to everybody that does send a comment. And as is now our tradition, oh, I've been looking forward to this. Slangeva. Good. All right, folks, remember to stay safe out there, be good to each other, and we will see you out on the trails the next time.